Peace and divine blessings, gods and goddesses, kings and queens, haters and devils alike. Welcome to my channel. I affirm that my voice is my power and my wounds are my healing methods. I'm affirming that one person like and feel what I'm saying and one person subscribe. Now, this isn't easy what I'm about to share with you guys, but I'm going to keep being transparent and 100% real with you. But I owe it to the truth. And anyone who has ever been harmed by someone like a man, like I used to be. I cheated, I lied, and I emotionally manipulated women. And today, I want to speak to that. Today, my heart tells me to speak to that. I know some people like to get in front of the YouTube camera and act like they were perfect or are perfect, and they always had their shit together. But this channel is named Sacred Wounds for a reason. I call myself a wounded healer. And I'm going to share with you my past. I repeat, my past. With honesty, accountability, and healing. Because silence can't heal what shame has buried. I didn't grow up learning how to love women. I grew up watching my mother get hurt. I watched my mother get beaten, yelled, disrespected by men who were broken and addicted. I internalized this chaos. I still remember a lot of the episodes that my mother endured. I remember one night, one of her ex-boyfriends kicked the door in. And at that time, my mother was married. She moved on. But somehow, some way, this guy, he was already locked up for domestic violence and assaulting my mother. So I'm assuming when he got out, he realized my mother moved on and got married. But anyway, Rod, that was the motherfucker name. I'm putting it out there. He kicked the door in. And I remember him kicking the door in and he ran towards my mother's bedroom where her and her husband were sleeping. The bedroom was in, like if you go inside the apartment, you open the door, you're in the living room, and then there's a hallway on your left. And he ran down the hallway. He had to go past my sister in our bedroom. And he went to my mother's room. And he had a knife. And he went into the bedroom and he stabbed my mother's husband. Now, my mother got away by running from the bedroom. And I see my mother running past the door. And my sister and I, at the door, we are in shock and awe, like, what's going on? We crying. I think I was about 9 or maybe 10 or 11 years old. And I couldn't comprehend what was going on. I had so much fear and anxiety inside of me. And after Rod stabbed my mother's husband, he chased my mother past the bedroom down the hallway. And as he was chasing her around the dining room table with the knife, because he was going to kill my mother, I'm looking at this. I'm screaming. I'm yelling. And I seen my mother's husband crawling in the hallway with my mother's gun, because that time my mother had a gun. And he shot 2 or 3 times. And Rod, he hit Rod, but he hit him in the neck, and Rod ran out. And David was in the hallway bleeding, my mother crying. I'm like, I couldn't comprehend what the fuck was going on. I remember this episode. And this is not easy, guys. I'm telling you. I remember my mother, this was when my mother and Rod was together. This was before that shooting incident. I remember Seeing this motherfucker on top of my mother in her bedroom, straddling her and banging her in the fucking face. I was so scared. I was crying. I didn't know what to do. I remember that shit like it was yesterday. Never ever told anyone this besides a therapist or a counselor. But I'm telling you, you, I somehow, some way became an abuser, looking for pain. I mean, looking for pleasure. I lied to women. I cheated in 99.9% of my relationships, making promises I had no intentions of keeping. It wasn't about them, it was about me trying to survive with no self worth. No self worth. Now, I see that every time I lied to a woman, I was lying to myself. Every time I cheated, I was betraying my own soul. Every time I played with someone's heart, I was running from my own pain. When I began to heal that part of me through prayer, silence, hypnosis, having an accountability partner, I realized something. I had to stop blaming my childhood. I had to stop blaming other people and I started becoming the man that I never had growing up. That meant I had to be facing that man, facing the harm that I caused without excuses to other women. That means asking, what kind of man do I want to be from this point forward? And I remember being now, this is the part I was going to tell you about as far as with Rod. Being incarcerated, I was doing a lot of spiritual work, of deep meditation, yoga, basically living like I'm living now to be truthful. No weed, no alcohol, no sex. And I was really elevating a high consciousness. And I was locked up for about a total of 10 years. But I was like 3 years into my regiment, maybe four. And guess what? Guess who came through the fucking door? Rod. Yes. And I remember telling some of my cronies at the time when I was locked up, and they wanted to stab him. They wanted to take him out. They told me that he was on the other side of the jail. So I went over there and I wanted to see this man. I wanted to look him in the eyes. I wanted to see how I felt because I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to do to him. I saw Rod and I looked Rod in the eyes. And for the first time, I saw an abused man that went through trauma. I saw a child that was hurt. I saw compassion in his face, and I became compassionate because he was wounded, and I saw it in his eyes. He was hurt. I saw apologies in his eyes. He wasn't sure how I was going to respond. He wasn't sure what I was going to do. I forgave him because he was doing the best that he could with his emotions, with what he had. And he was abused as well. I want to say to every woman I lied to, cheated on, or mistreated, this is for you. I'm sorry. I apologize. Forgive me. Not just for what I did, but for the energy I left behind in your spirit. I don't need forgiveness to move forward. This is about responsibility. And I pray that your healing has come because you deserve more than I had the capacity to give back. The man that I am today, I live celibate, not because I'm afraid of intimacy, but because I'm rebuilding my relationship with honor. I practice integrity. I speak truth even when it's uncomfortable. I teach other men how to face their wounds before they hurt someone else because hurt people before they wound others. I'm not perfect, guys. I'm not. But I'm no longer hiding behind the mask of masculinity that hurts instead of heal. In closing, if you're a man watching this and you caused harm to women, own it. Don't hide from it. Own that shit. Be real. You're not beyond redemption, but you are responsible for what you're done. And to the women watching, thank you for surviving us. Your strength is not unnoticed. If this video resonates, drop a heart or in the comments and subscribe for more healing truth from sacred wounds. You can't heal what you're not willing to face. And I'm facing mine right here, right now. I love you.